What's up, fellas? As you can see, we're back at the family farm. Just kidding, not at the family farm. I am actually on Mackinac Island. I'm currently biking the entire island right now. I love coming up to Mackinac Island. It's one of my favorite spots to vacation at. I decided to take a nice little weekend vacation after work on Friday, staying at Onaway State Park in northern Michigan. Definitely needed a vacation. Work is crazy, drains the life and happiness out of me. So vacation is much needed. I also coach cross country, so with that going on right now, this is my last weekend before I'm able to take another vacation until November. So prime time for me to take a vacation right now is now or never. But it's been great so far. It was a 4-hour drive up to the state park. Stayed there overnight and took the first ferry over to Mackinac Island. Yeah, I took the first ferry over to Mackinac Island. On the ride over to Mackinaw City to get to the ferry from the campground, there's a pretty good thunderstorm. But it turned out to be a really nice day. Stopped at the Sea Biscuit once I got on the island. Every time I come here, that's where I always stop. They have great food and great drinks. Had a breakfast omelet and a bunch of mimosas. So today's gonna be a great day. I have no plans other than just messing around the island the whole day, heading back to the campground later on tonight, and then sadly having to go home at some point tomorrow and go back to work Monday. But I'm gonna enjoy my time on the island. I'm happy to be here, happy to be away from work, and just to get away for a while and reset. On your left. Morning.
Morning.
I decided after I left yesterday, when I got back to the campground, to ditch the last night that I was supposed to be at the campground. I canceled that night, packed everything up, and then took the ferry back over to the island and decided to stay the night here. I ended up getting a hotel at the Mission Point hotel, and it was pretty great actually. Went back to the Sea Biscuit, and then I tried a different place for like a late lunch, forgot what it was called, and then ended up ending the night at the gatehouse, and they had dueling pianos. I've never seen them before, but it was actually pretty cool. Beautiful 61-degree morning. Heading to the Sea Biscuit right now for breakfast, and sad that today is the day that I gotta leave.